This video discusses 3 tracks along Larimer County Road 43 between the towns of Drake and Glen Haven, Colorado. They are also located along the North Fork of the Big Thompson River, which will be central to our story here. Now, these trails are shown in COTREX and also the U.S. Forest Service Motor Vehicle Use Map data, but not in the Forest Service National Forest Systems Roads dataset, which is kind of confusing because I've always assumed that the roads dataset is a superset of the motor vehicle use data. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, I thought that COTREX was about trails, but it does include what I call tracks, roads, if you will, rough roads that are open to motorized travel in many cases, oftentimes from the Forest Service. So the issue with these tracks is that they were wiped away in the 2013 Front Range flood, which is over 10 years ago as I record this today in October of 2023. So on your screen is the OpenStreetMap tiles, and the COTREX data is overlaid in green with a black casing. So the tracks are these 3 right here. Let's take a look at them actually in the COTREX web map. So here's the web map, and you might be saying, wait a minute, see, they're not showing. But there's a bug in COTREX, and as you zoom in, you'll start to see these little road labels or shields out in the middle of nowhere, and only if you click on them then the road shows up. So there's that middle one, here's the western one, and this one doesn't even get a label, you just have to guess where it is. So the point here is not really is someone going to make one of these things their destination for an outing and be disappointed that no longer exists? Are they going to get lost on these short little roads? No, that's probably not going to happen, although someone might think they could take this road here to get to the other side of the North Fork of the Big Thompson River, and they would be disappointed. The point of all of this is that this shows that COTREX has very outdated data that is over 10 years out of date. So back to our map, let's zoom in a little bit here. And we'll put on some imagery from Larimer County GIS 2021. And you can see there is no evidence of a road or a trail here. I'll go into wireframe mode, make that a little more apparent. No indication there. And oddly, without a bridge, this road crosses the river once, twice, 3 different times. Since bridges are expensive, that's probably unlikely. Also, it starts like right through a guardrail, which is ridiculous. And this one to the west also starts in the middle of a guardrail, almost in the middle of a bridge. Again, no indication of any road there or trail. There might be like a social trail down to the river there, but it's not in alignment with what's depicted in COTREX. And over here again, no evidence of a road where COTREX shows this road. And again, some social trails down to the river. Go out of wireframe mode, back to normal. Just to prove to you that the Forest Service does have these. That's the Forest Service data, almost exactly the same as COTREX. Again, that's the motor vehicle use map. The National Forest System Roads dataset does not have them for some reason. Now, I mentioned the flood in 2013. Let's take a look at imagery prior to the flood. This is from Larimer County GIS captured in 2012. And again, I'll go into wireframe mode. And you can clearly see that there is a road here, or at least a wide trail, and there's a bridge across the river. Note it only crosses the river. There's only one bridge, it only crosses the river once. And why it apparently crosses 3 times now is because the flood was so severe, it changed the whole course of the river. Not as much evidence for the existence of this road over here to the west, and the one to the east is kind of in the canopy, so you can't really see it. This is imagery from 2016, post-flood. Larimer County does not collect imagery every year, and this was the first available post-flood that covered this area, and you can see that the flood, wiped out this whole area here, and there is no more road, no more bridge. That might be a temporary bridge there for the construction equipment, but remember the original bridge was in this area. In fact, this whole road is temporary at this point. These are temporary bridges. This is dirt. Normally it's paved, and it's been repaved now certainly now in 2021 or 2023. And this area also completely washed out. You can clearly see that. Again, a little less clear to the east what happened there, but obviously a lot of flood damage there too. So in summary, both COTREX and the U.S. Forest Service motor vehicle use map data for roads contains these 3 roads that were wiped out in September of 2013 by the Front Range flood, and which have not been rebuilt.